Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ron Forbes. Sorry I haven't been with you for a while, but life goes on and we stay busy, and sometimes we can't make it on YouTube to talk to you and share with you for a little bit. I have been studying in Acts the last few days, Acts chapter 10, and it's talking about Peter and his vision and Cornelius and a vision that he had. And I want to share with you today what it is that is so special about this vision that was shared to Peter. And I'm going to read chapter 10 starting at verse 9, and I'm just going to read about 6 verses there. It says, the next day as they were traveling and nearing the city, Peter went up to pray on the rooftop about noon. He became hungry and wanted to eat. While they were preparing something, he fell into a trance. He saw heaven opened and an object that resembled a large sheet coming down, being lowered by its 4 corners to the earth. In it were all the 4-footed animals and reptiles of the earth and birds of the sky. A voice said to him, "Get up, Peter, kill and eat." "No, Lord," Peter said, "for I have never eaten anything impure and ritually unclean." Again, a second time, the voice said to him, "What God has made clean, do not call impure." This happened 3 times, and suddenly the object was taken up into heaven. And so, what's he talking about? Is he talking about food? A lot of people think he's talking about food. And sure enough, yeah, he's talking about food. Peter's hungry. There's a sheet lowered down. It's got all sorts of animals and livestock, snakes, birds. And he's telling him to kill and eat. And of course, Peter won't do it because these are unclean animals. These animals that are in this sheet, I'm going to say were all unclean. Maybe not all of them, but most of them were unclean, what they considered unclean. Goes back to the laws in Leviticus that Moses had set up. And these were unclean animals that the Jewish people were not allowed to eat. Well, since Jesus had came and he fulfilled the law of the Old Testament, then now we don't have to worry about these animals. But the point here is not whether these animals were fit to eat or not. It has nothing to do with that. The point here is that they were telling Peter that no matter what kind of animal it is, whether it's clean or unclean, who are you to say that they are clean or unclean? And so what God has made, you're not to call unclean. And God's made all of us. He's made all of humankind. He's made all of mankind. You know, back in Genesis, God made man in his own image. Made them male and female. So here we are, man and woman, made by God in the Garden of Eden. We went through life, and of course we became so corrupt that there was Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. We all know this story of Noah and the great flood that came that wiped out all mankind other than Noah and his family. And of course, God will remember those who fear him for 1,000 generations. And of course, this was Noah through his generation, through his life that came through. And of course, we come up to back to my point. All people that fear God, who does right, is acceptable to him. And I'm going to read a little bit more here, starting in verse 34, still in chapter 10. Starting in verse 34, it says, Peter began to speak. Now I truly understand that God doesn't show favoritism. That's what he was talking about. That's what God was talking about, showing Peter in the vision. He said that God does not show favoritism, but in every nation, the person who fears him and does what is right is acceptable to him. So, with that being said, Jesus Christ didn't come just for the Jews. He came for all mankind. It don't matter who he is. Don't matter who you are. Don't matter the color of your skin, whether you're black, white, yellow, pink, orange. You know, it don't matter what color you are. And it don't matter who you are, how you grew up, what kind of belief system do you have in your life. Jesus came to die for you. Remember that. Jesus came to die for you. If you have any comments, questions, or anything, leave a comment in the descriptions below. If you like what you hear, subscribe. Appreciate all that you do. Thank you very much.